Good evening. It is Wednesday and we're in the park pretty late tonight. Tried to get out here for sunset and maybe I did. Hi. Today I got some disparaging news that the walking tours and ghost company tour that I work for is gonna, yes, completely shut down. And it is a bummer. I have been working for them since 2012. Today, since it's twilight in the park, I'm going to talk a little bit about ghosts. And I truly believe that you won't really believe in ghosts until you've actually been in the presence of one. It's kind of like, I don't know, UFOs. You don't really believe in it till, oh my God, what the heck's that? And we may talk about that a little bit later, but today it's ghosts, and I have been in the presence of them. I absolutely believe it. What's sad is that the place in Old Town where we conducted our tours out of is one of the more haunted buildings in downtown, and it's just going to be sealed up, and hey, maybe the ghosts will come back to that area and have a jolly old good time without us. Oh, that is something right there. There's a dragonfly flies right past. I don't know if you saw that. Anyway, there's a ton of people out here for the sunset. Just kind of simple and cool. People just coming out and just enjoying the beauty of it all, as the ugliest of it as it all is. It's all around us in our lives. So anyway, we're going to go to Bend for this story. And Bend, Oregon is one of those places. For a long time, I had a real bad relationship with Bend, Oregon, because a number of my ex-girlfriends had left me for a guy from Bend. It was always a snowboarder from Bend. Oh, great. Again, is it Bend? Yeah. It's in Bend. I worked on a movie, Wild, there with Reese Witherspoon, and that was an excellent time. A few things you might not know about that shoot is that I'm in one scene with Reese, who's absolutely, the first thing you need to know, Reese Witherspoon is awesome. She's totally present. She worked hard on the part the entire time she was there. I never saw her on her phone, not once. Wow, that's pretty. And two, the scene that I'm in, we're supposed to be in this middle of the Bend, Oregon desert, and it's supposed to be hot, but we're shooting in this open-windowed car, and it's about 38 degrees outside. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. We have these warmth packs in between our legs that whenever they cut, we would talk, oh gosh, we're freezing cold. But we made it look like it was warm and breezy out. But we'll get back to ghosts here. Let these folks get by here for a second. Pretty dog. All right, where were we? Ghosts, that's right. Well, throughout my life, always looking for gig work as an actor, I ended up doing a number of murder mysteries. And these are fun. Improvised shows where we put on a mystery and the guests at the show have to figure out what that mystery is. Sometimes this ends up being incredibly excellent evenings, sometimes not so much. But one year we were doing a show at Sun River, which is in Bend. It's big. There's a big lodge there, and it was a Western themed show, and we were doing it in their big lodge, big open area. Very, very, very old building. And what was really strange about that weekend is apparently every so many years in Bend, there's this plague of amazingly fat moths that will hit like locusts. Literally, we turned on our windshield wipers because the moths were falling from the sky, and it seemed very biblical and ominous because of that. But we're going to give a little pause here as we get past all of these people. All right. Well, there was almost a dance party going on back there, and I didn't want to interview people, so we're just going to continue on from here. We made it down. It is just strikingly beautiful out here. But where were we? Oh, yeah. Ghosts in Bend. Well, as I'd said, we'd done this Western-themed murder mystery, and my friend Dwayne and I were tasked to tear down all of the PA equipment and bring it back to the van. Well, we go back into the lodge, which, as I mentioned, is a very old building, and we know we are the only people in this entire big room, because really the only lights that are in the place that are on are around our equipment. And so we kind of hustle through the darkness to our equipment and we start to break it down. But when at this moment I look up into the balcony, and yes, there is a woman, white dressed woman, in the balcony looking at us. And I look over at my friend Dwayne and I'm like, hey, do you see that? And he's like, I was going to ask you, did you see that? And we stand there and we stare at her for an eternity, 2 minutes, maybe not that long, but who knows. And then she just blips out, and she's not there anymore. And we freak out. Already we got the moth invasion from outside. Now we got ghosts in this place. And we start setting up, pulling down our equipment in there. And we see a light come on in that same exact area where she was standing a little while later. There's no way for that light to be there. All of the lights in the entire building are off, but for some reason, that little area where she was standing lit back up again. And from that moment on, really, I became a true believer. And I'm not one of those guys going to tell you what it is that I'm looking at, because I will never know what it is that I'm looking at. But I certainly believe that there's a ton of stuff out in the universe that we human beings foolishly believe that we have some understanding of. But ghosts are one of them. We're never going to know. And that is my story of the day.